Hey guys, I'm out here in kind of cool little park. You got a little dog park here. There was a guy that was kind of like having fun with his dog. I was hoping to get that on film, but it looks like they left a lot of stuff going up here, man. But just wanted to hang out for a little bit and just kind of talk about some of the stuff I've been seeing. Bit of research I've been doing in some of the crypto markets. Like one of the big things, I guess, was the Fomo contract. I was kind of checking into that, keeping an eye on that, and it's getting sub 5 minutes. That thing is, I was anticipating that contract was going to go a lot longer, and it still could, but seeing it under 5. So the internet was pretty bad outside, but I think it's going to be pretty solid in here. It was in like the 60s or whatnot. So see if I can find a good spot to kind of set up here. Yeah, I know, man. I should get my own internet company, huh? Because I can't stop dealing with internet issues. I don't have much power on my iPad either. But there was a couple of things I was kind of looking at. I thought they were kind of interesting. I wanted to show here real quick while I still got some power. So this was one, this Aurora coin was a big trending coin today. It's not showing as much today because it's been, pretty much a pretty big bloodbath, but I didn't know a whole lot about it. So I was kind of looking into it a little bit, like, I encourage you guys to take a look, if you guys are interested. But I was just taking a little bit of a look into this project, and I'm still trying to understand a little bit about it. But this was the big one that was trending today. Like if we're looking at coin market cap, it's number one. I mean, everything's down, but it is the one that's performing pretty well today. But I think what it was surprised is seeing it in the 54th position. I wasn't expecting too much of a, I wasn't expecting to see a coin that I really didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about, doing as well as it did. So it's got 151 million in market cap, still fairly new, not a whole lot of volume, pretty much only on KuCoin, but it's a good one to maybe keep in mind. So again, like I see these in the market, I see them coming up, but geez, look at that market cap, 221. Holy cow. It is not a good day for crypto, man. Tell you what, everything's down. Everything's down. So get this in the background. It's a pretty sweet little background spot here. I like this little space. I've got a friend that works here, and so B3D heme, we're going back down to 50 billion. Man, that would be something. Almost touching a trillion to go down to 50 billion. I was not anticipating going this low. I thought we were bottoming out at about 250. I didn't really see much more of a bottom behind that. I haven't been following as much of like TA or other people that are kind of giving some of their perspectives as to why we're seeing such a drop in the market right now. But because I've been hearing some other rumors that we might be seeing, especially with Bitcoin, we might be getting ready for a kind of a massive breakout. Like there was a few different indicators that were kind of talking about that, and I've been spending some time with a lot of crypto folks lately. I've been pretty fortunate about that, because like I love talking to people that understand cryptocurrency, and so I've been fortunate in that sense that this has been a good trip since I've been here in America. I've been talking to a lot of cryptocurrency people from some different backgrounds. So, and I can maybe share some more of that and kind of go into some different things later. I don't know if right now is the best time, but yeah, BTC is going to be king. ETH is prince. Who replaces the king? You know, there could be, you know, Ethereum came out like 2015. So you had Bitcoin that had been around since 2008, essentially the inception, and then you had Ethereum coming out in 2015. I think it's very possible we might see like a coin or something that comes onto the space that could really kind of be one of those evolving platforms that could take over and become that next king. Essentially, something that's not really in the space yet. Of course, that's going to take some time for something to amass that kind of market capitalization. So still, Ethereum looks like, the front runner to replace, Bitcoin as the number one, crypto. But I don't know if I see that happening. At least not yet. Heem is a sellout. Ripple will be number one. Yeah, I don't know about Ripple. I'm still holding a lot of Ripple, though, so I'm hoping the price goes up. But let's see here, what else can I talk about? You guys got a few different topics. I'm open to kind of exploring some different topics. There's not a whole lot really kind of going on in crypto. Unfortunately, it's been, like we've been seeing, it's been pretty. It's been a bloodbath. Some of the bright spots have been some of these like decentralized apps and platforms. And that was, I guess, what I was kind of looking at. Like if we're taking a look at DApp Radar, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. The Fomo project still at number 2. So we've got, IDEX number 1, Fomo. So a lot of the interest in Fomo has been because the contract's getting below the 5-minute mark. Proof of weak hands. Zether has come down a little bit, but I like kind of seeing where the balance is right now. And, Linea. Interesting to see Linea as high as it is. Oh, sweet. Balance is at 215. I haven't checked into that account a little bit. So, I got into Linea. It was about like, it was like almost under 100 ETH, or it was right around 100 ETH. So, it's pretty good. FOMO won't die, bots won't let it. Yeah, I've been kind of like talking with some developer friends of mine. Like, there's been some people that have been looking to write like scripts that it can essentially kind of like buy keys at a very, kind of consistent basis or whatnot. What's going on, Crypto Face? What's going on with you, brother, man? I've been seeing you involved in a lot of drama on YouTube, man. Sometimes you got to let that stuff go, but I like seeing the passion, though. I do like seeing that. Face dropped 28 videos today. But man, we got a lot of crypto people on here. A lot of crypto tubers. Tubers. This is like the tuber hangout. Had to handle it. It's handled. Yeah, man, I hear that. But yeah, thing's done. I'm doing a little bit of shopping, so I got to get clothes while I can here because they don't fit me. Go over to certain parts of the world, I can't find clothes that fit me. So, but yeah, I've been having some really interesting conversations. So I can't really talk about some of that stuff just yet. But there's been a lot of interesting topics of conversation I've been exploring, and that tends to be something that I really enjoy kind of looking at through the lens of some other people's experience, in the space. So it's been good. Justo to explain it. How real is R, man? Dave, the real deal. Should I throw him on life savings? So they're gonna come out with this vault function. It looks really, really interesting. I talked with David about that, and I really like it. The code is nice and short and sweet, clean. I think it's gonna be great, and I want to I want to confirm with David before I say too much about some of those projects. But David's like, I've worked with a guy very similar to David in California, so I kind of have I feel like I kind of have an understanding of a little bit of kind of where he's coming from. Like, I can see how some people can draw maybe some inappropriate, well, not inappropriate, but maybe they're just kind of looking at things from a super critical perspective. So I think for some people, you just kind of need to look past some of that, because there's there's a lot of innovation going on in this space, and he's definitely part of it with the arbitraging platform. There's not necessarily any type of platform that's really out there that's competing with it right now, and it's positioning itself to be one of the top hands-on, kind of easy-to-use arbitraging platforms in cryptocurrency, and that's kind of why I've been excited to kind of get involved, with that project. And they have a lot of plans to kind of add some other things, because if you're seeing what's going on with say DappRadar and some of these programs that have been have a pretty solid user base, like you're seeing that kind of like these gambling type of games and things that are coded into these contracts, and there's a lot more that's kind of on the way. Like these lotteries, you're seeing some card games where you can you can hold a certain percentage of the dividends in a contract by holding a particular position in that contract. There's the dice games and some of the other things were kind of some of the first ones into it. I'm not as into some of those because it's not as great. But man, like you start getting into, like, people like to gamble, and especially people look at cryptocurrency as a gamble sometimes. You start incorporating that into the blockchain. Like, for instance, you're looking at some of the lotteries, like some of the ball lotteries with the numbers and whatnot. And, take that and put it on the blockchain as opposed to having that run through a separate entity. Along with a kiosk, inside a store. So there's actually a physical representation that you can kind of interact with. A project that is blockchain based. There's a lot of possibilities that are I believe are going to start that we're going to start seeing some of these innovations really pick up in the next several months. So I'm interested to kind of see how those develop, and also doing some discussions on having some discussions with some people on how that's kind of the back end of that, like how other people are going to be kind of, looking at these and anticipating them, so, yeah. Sensitive subject, yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it. Originally got in because the math made sense, it still does, so I'm staying. Yo, you must have made bank on Doubler, P3D, well done, man. I gotta check into my Doubler account. I don't think I've gotten the payout yet. I don't know if the dividends are quite there yet. But I think I was like 150 or 160 in line with the Doubler contract, so I should be getting that, some point here. P3D has been stagnant for days. I mean, that's what I've been kind of saying, is I don't see P3D as maybe the best play, like right now, because of, I think that contract's going to go sub 40,000. I don't see it. I don't see it coming back up over 50,000 for a little while. There's been a little bit of volatility. I kind of had that on there. I don't know if I can show that. Maybe I can pull that up real quick. Yeah. There was a huge drop. Let's see if we get the glare off this screen. Huge drop recently. So let me zoom out here a little bit. But this has been the trend. You know, not a whole lot of green, a lot of red, and that's not good. You know, for this contract in terms of like, I mean, you can kind of see the drop off. You know, I got out around 50,000, and it, you know, it's slowed down, but you know, the dividends are going to be minimal. The contract's kind of bleeding out. You know, it's going to do that for a little while. Doesn't mean it's, you know, dead or a bad investment by any means, but I think you're best to stay on the sidelines until that contract kind of bottoms out in the next kind of iteration from Team Just, you know, hits the decentralized application space. Once that happens, I think that's when I'm going to be having some ETH on the sidelines, getting ready to get back in. I have ETH waiting at 35K. Yeah. So you think BitConnect actually had working bots? You know, that was the arbitraging. I don't know if that's the right terminology. I mean, it was they basically, you know, again, like if you're looking at the website, they were basing a lot of that on Bitcoin volatility. That was kind of like their claim. There wasn't, you know, really, you know, any indication or kind of like proof that was presented. It was more or less. It was more or less basically kind of one of these things where it was said it was sensitive. They didn't necessarily want to give away too much information because they didn't want people copying it, and there were a lot of copycats in the space. A lot of lending platforms that imitated and copied a lot of what they were doing. However, you know, because of that, we don't have a whole lot of transparency there. Hard to believe that BitConnect devs kept the system so stable after so many attacks and didn't have a bot. They should reactivate it and blow everyone away. I would love to see something happen with BitConnect, really would. Tron is trying to bring BCC back. Last few vids of his, yeah. I've been watching some of those videos. Like, I like what he's doing. You know, I know some people are gonna be critical of kind of what he's doing, but man, I mean, that was something that was, you know, a huge thing in the space, and he's having fun with it. You know, I mean, especially with some of the memes and music videos, like that one video with Dylan Locke that has really been kind of like, you know, I guess one of the best videos out there with Carlos and whatnot. That was he had this 12 kind of different aspects of kind of the, you know, why you may be interested in looking at that project. And I think it's interesting to kind of look at some of those, maybe compare some of those pointers or some of the things that he's talking about to other projects and see how that may compare. You know, there's some, you know, he brings up some really interesting points. Yeah, sounds like Arb a bit, except Arb has David. Yeah, Arb, you know, it's difficult to compare arbitraging and BitConnect. There's a lot of differences, right? So BitConnect was more in the lending, and you know, arbitraging is like, it kind of has a decentralized nature to it because of its kind of interaction with the, you know, with the smart contracts and some of the other developments and things that they're doing. You know, I guess the A-bot has the most like comparisons to, say, lending, except they've been transparent with some of those trades in the past. You know, I don't, like, I haven't been in the A-bot. I think, you know, I've been, you know, kind of debating whether or not to get back in. I've really just been holding the coins. I'm kind of waiting for the coin to come up and plateau a little bit. Like, I still think, like, I think that there might be some news and some things that are developments that are coming out that could really make the coin pump. So, like, we've seen that a little bit. Like the interview David had with PJ3, like right after that, like the price went up a lot, and there was a little bit of a correction, but you know, it's still a very small market. You know, 8 million coins. You know, limited supply. It's you know, I think there's you know, I'll be talking a little bit more about that. I'm gonna be kind of looking into it a little bit more. Maybe chatting with David, and kind of, you know, some of the things that he may or may not want, you know, to kind of put out there. So, But I mean, they're being fairly transparent. Like I think it's difficult to compare the two. Like they're not really the same. It's a smart contract where they control everything. Well, he's putting together a smart contract where he's going to renounce ownership to it, where it'll truly be decentralized, and he has no financial incentive behind that. And it was interesting to kind of see him talk about that a little bit. Yeah, hey, that's true. Yeah, calling things decentralized when they are not. Australia has a lot of ARB opportunities. There's a lot of crypto people in Australia that have been in some of these spaces, and you've got some YouTuber presence down there. Yeah, I'd love to spend some time in Australia. I might end up doing that here, in the future. There are no arbitraging opportunities unless you have access to Korean exchanges. I think the arbitraging opportunities are not as prominent or as good, really, lately. And I think that's maybe something that you may see. Like you may see some of these arbitraging-esque platforms that are getting in and kind of moving funds around from exchange to the point where there's not as much of a difference or a financial incentive to really kind of go after some of those opportunities. We're not seeing as much like, big swings with coins, especially in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap. Some of the ones that have, 100 million in their, in their market cap, some sizable coins that are being traded on many different exchanges. So, that's, I think, one of the things you might start to see, like maybe perhaps it doesn't scale as well with the cryptocurrency space as it is right now. Like there may have been more opportunities with arbitraging, a year ago as opposed to now, if that makes sense. There's still a lot of foreign entities and people that are, speaking different languages that are in crypto that are, looking at different things and opportunity and perhaps doing some different things to get into that space. Like I would have to imagine that arbitraging, just arbitraging between different exchanges has been something that's been a very big thing in places like Korea, China, huge markets in the crypto space. Yeah, unless you kind of have a decent amount of disparity, you lose in the spread and fees and transaction fees. So you lose a little bit. You lose a little bit by going between those two. I wonder if ARB is arbitraging tokens on CoinExchange. It's a pretty good spread, just not enough volume. Volume's been really low. I don't think arbitraging is doing that, but I know people are. I was trying to. If there's opportunity there, why not? Arbitraging your own coin, kind of like your own personal circle jerk. I've been arbing in India for ages, no bot needed. I was doing it a lot with BCC back last summer. I wasn't talking about it too much because I didn't want other people to get into it, because then, you're bringing more people into a space that you're making money on. So, but yeah, I was doing a little bit of arbitrage on that. But man, I tell you what, like almost all of the stuff that I put in, like I lost in like those flash crashes. I don't know if you remember those flash crashes. There was one like late July, and there was one late August, I believe. I think it was late August. There was like two, the big flash crashes. So one of them was because I think the website, because it got knocked off CoinMarketCap, and so everyone panicked and sold. And I remember seeing that. And then there was another one where
where just the website was down, you know, and everyone was like, you know, kind of freaked out. I was Arbin, BCC, made a ton on Livecoin and Internal Exchange. Yeah, yeah, there's opportunity there. Oh, we got some Vietnamese in here, huh? I can't can't go with you on the Vietnamese. Wish I could. But yeah, I want to stay on for a few more minutes. Just kind of see a little bit where I'm at. Beautiful spaces here. They got some parks. People just hanging out. Nice day. Yeah, I mean, there's been some huge arbitraging opportunities with Bitcoin. You know, that was kind of the big one, you know, with Korea. It was so expensive in Korea, and you could pick it up a lot cheaper in other places. So, yeah, like, I think the gap is closed, and I think it's going to just, you know, continue to, you know, minimize and minimize over time. But I think that for the cryptocurrency space as a whole, I think it's a good thing because it's going to add more stability to the price. You're not going to see as many wide swings, and you're going to see, because there's some stability in price, people are feeling more comfortable getting in, that they're not going to, you know, get in, buy in, and lose 10%, you know, in, you know, overnight because the market crashed. Now, today is probably not the best example of that with the market, you know, as it is, but, you know, thinking long term, you know, having price stability between the exchanges and on the coins is a good thing. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet glass building. I have to find, there's a lot of cool spots to live stream from, so I'm trying to find some good spots to kind of hang out. Arbin, I still do that on quieter exchanges, but the volume is dire nowadays. Yeah. I like, I've been receiving a little bit of criticism behind Dropple, but one of the things I like about Dropple is, you know, you can actually physically see some of the opportunities there and just click, you know, with the click of a button, you're able to kind of get into some of those exchanges. And I think that's something that they're going to develop, you know, over time. I'm still not, you know, have a whole lot invested in Drop, but Dropple's like, has a little bit of similarities to arbitraging. So it's just, you know, not quite as innovative, not doing as many things, but that's not to say that they might come out with more developments, you know, as that platform grows and expands. Dropple has a lot in development. You'll all see soon. Yeah, Crypto Alex, I think you're a little bit, maybe a little bit more involved with that. Then yeah, yeah, that's right. You're a beta tester. Yeah, I wish I could say more. Yeah, maybe I have to get with you. Maybe we can talk offline or something and chat about it. I'd love to kind of hear, you know, some of the developments with that, and maybe talk with some of those guys a little bit, just kind of see what they're doing. So. You know, I guess where I'm coming from is like there's a lot of people that were super critical of BitConnect, you know, for whatever reason. They kind of, you know, went on that, and now I'm like, you're seeing some people that are being critical of certain platforms in the space, but not offering a whole lot of reasons as to why, and some of those guys don't necessarily have all the credibility in the world, but there are some that do. One in particular I'm talking to, we've been throwing around a lot of different ideas. So, like, I see it one way, he sees it the other way, and we're like trying to come to terms with how we feel like each other kind of has come to the opinions and conclusions that we have. Do you like Crystal? I do. I don't know if I still see it as a gamble. I think that it might be something worthwhile adding. Like, I haven't gotten into it, but that's not to say that I won't. To be honest, I haven't checked into it in a while. So I need to do more due diligence on that. Need to do more research, maybe watch some more videos on it. So I'm glad you bring it up. I'll take a little bit more of a look into it. So, all right, guys. I think I want to call that a stream. So I'll get back online tomorrow and check in and discuss some different topics. And let me know if there's anything you want me to take a look at, or you got some thoughts or some things you want to express. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.